5 discipline strategies and consequences you must know. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Boom, where life is still there life. Who was waiting for me here? I came on live and I saw 24 people. That is amazing. All right, let's hit it up to 100 before we start this session now. We're live. Share the link, share with your family and your friends. I see you guys. The very first person who got here was Onome. Congratulations to you. And this is so amazing. Who is looking at me today and who is enjoying this popping face this afternoon? If you can see me, you can hear me. Let me see you. Put the comment section in the comment. All right, go to the comment section and tell me that you can hear me. Tell me where you are streaming live from and where you can see me from. And if this is your first time of coming live with me on a Tuesday live, we call this place the Cathedral. You are welcome. Just put in the comment section that is your first time. We're going to sing for you. You know how we sing for first timers in church? Yes, you are in church. You are in the Cathedral. Welcome here. Boom, boom, boom. Who else is excited? Thank you so much for joining me, and shout out to the Benin parents that I met over the weekend in Benin. It was such an exciting time with you all. Shout out to you guys. Tell me where you're streaming live from. Put it in the comment section. Share this with your family and your friends. I am feeling myself today, and it means that you're going to have a wonderful session today as well. Now, when you hear discipline strategies and consequences, I'm sure you are expecting, oh, coach should come and tell us what we're going to do to our children. Boom, and everything just works. All right, but I'm going to take this from a very different angle, and I want us to pay attention. The reason this is coming from that angle is because many of us have actually misinterpreted what discipline is. I'm going to be sharing a lot from my book called The Discipline is Not an Emergency, and also The Discipline That Works. These are the two current books we're currently reading right in the academy, and I'm going to be sharing excerpts from them, and of course, while teaching you what it is that you need to do. The first thing that I need you to do today, and hey, hello to you, Dr. Happiness is second, and I finally get to meet you live. It's so exciting and so interesting. Shout out to you. One of the first things I want you to note today. Are you ready for the fire emojis that is coming come from this class? Are you ready for the action? If you're ready, put in the fire emojis into the comment section, and of course, we will go on from there. I wrote a note to parents writing my book called The Discipline is Not an Emergency. And I said, a seed grows with no sound, but a tree falls with a huge noise. Destruction is noisy. If your discipline strategy on your parenting journey is noisy, it simply means that it's destructive. Discipline do not create drama that eventually gives your children trauma in their lives. If your discipline is creating drama, hi mom, my mom is here. If your discipline is creating drama, that is not the right kind of discipline. The room is quiet, kind of, and I don't like it. I want everybody to be popping and right here. Is your discipline creating drama? Number two, aggression is not discipline, it's destruction. You see, when we talk about discipline, a lot of people come to me to say, oh, you know, I just, that's the way we were raised. If you're not aggressive to the child will not hear. No, you have just programmed your child to only listen to you when you become aggressive. And that is not the solution to the problem. No, you are not creating the right environment for that child. You are actually destroying. Number three, discipline grows the child. It doesn't cut them short. Discipline grows the child. It doesn't cut them short. It doesn't. So if your child is not growing and it is actually stunting their growth, then that is not discipline. Number four, discipline builds, it doesn't destroy. If your discipline is destroying any part of your parenting, that is not discipline. The next one, discipline is not the reaction to a thing. Discipline is the response to a thing. So if you are reacting That's not discipline. Because discipline is not in reactivity, it's in responsibility. It is about how responsible you are with you yourself. The next one, point to note. Discipline is not the child's problem. Discipline is the parent's problem. Because the definition of discipline, the real sense of it is that discipline is structure, not yelling, not beating, not aggression. So if discipline is structure, what it means is that discipline is your problem. The next one you need to note is that discipline is not about how you feel, but how you build. Who is getting this quote for us? Discipline is not about how you feel, but how you build. If your discipline is not building your child, it's just about how you feel. I felt like I got angry and I slapped my child. That is not discipline, it's just your feeling. Because discipline is about how you build, it's not about how you feel. Because it's a skill, it's not a feeling. Discipline is not a feeling, it's a skill. Let's move on. Discipline is not about how critical you are, but how connected you are. When discipline works, it works on the premise of how you are connected to that child, not how you can criticize your child. So if your discipline moves to criticism, that is also not discipline. The more disciplined you are, the more disciplined your child becomes, the more connected your child will be. So discipline is not about criticisms, corrections, control. That's not what discipline is about. Sometimes people ask me, oh, I just need to correct the child. No, that's not discipline in itself. Correction is not discipline. Because discipline is not what you do after. When a child has a problem, discipline is what you do even before the child gets into problem. So discipline, I say, is not about criticisms. It's not about corrections. It's not about control. Discipline is about content, conversations, connections, and culture. So it's not about how much corrections you make. You can be a corrector of men, and yet you're not a disciplined parent. You can be a corrector of men, like we say, growing up, my mom is here. Growing up, when my mom had a thing for English languages, and of course, for everything you speak, mommy is going to correct you, with it and say, oh no, this is wrong. And because my mom reads a lot, and she would say, no, this is so we at the time we started calling her corrector of men. I'm sure she remembers this conversation. So it's not about how much correction you can give. Yeah. It is about how much content you have, how much connections you can build, how much culture you can create. So if you're somebody who you're constantly correcting, sometimes the children get tired of that your correction. You don't tire them. Like this correction that you're correcting is okay. You can be a corrector of men, and yet you are not disciplined. So discipline is in the things you build. Discipline is in the skills the systems you create. Over the years, working with parents, one of the things that have remained constant, the subject of discipline has been abused. And we haven't been able to define what discipline is. Which is why we come out and say African parents are very disciplined parents. Yet the same parents we attribute discipline to, it's the same father who doesn't come home till 10 o'clock. Did I say 10 o'clock, 12 midnight? The same father who was a womanizer, the same father who was very indisciplined drinking, the same father who never paid attention to his family. Yet we actually call that discipline. Why? Because he was aggressive. The same mother who couldn't, sit down to do anything to finish line. The same mother who couldn't control her emotions, the same mother who yelled at everything that happened, the same mother who couldn't control what she said and didn't say. Yet we stand up and we say, our parents were very disciplined. Which is why now discipline is all about, external motivations. Oh, if they're going to punish me. So what we learned is the fear of punishment, not discipline. So we didn't build as a people. So we came out as a people, and right now people are, it's so difficult for us to even run entrepreneurship. For instance, many of us are in the space where you just need to work. And the fear of not getting paid is what motivates us to go to work. That's not true discipline. So the things we have learned about discipline is not the right thing. So they tell you, oh, you just need to once you're correcting your children, sounding like a broken record, then you're disciplined. That's not true. Yet, some of us who claim to be so disciplined cannot sit there in a class of 1 hour and learn and actually pick out the lessons and take actions. No, I'm going too far. Some of us cannot finish a book. When we started the inner circle this year, one of the struggles a lot of parents had was finishing one book. This month we're reading two. Finishing one book and sitting down to actually read it to the end. We can't finish the things we start because we were not taught discipline as a skill. We were taught discipline as a reaction. So there was fear of punishment. So some of us would actually not go to work if we're going to be paid. So we are externally motivated, not internally motivated, which is why our first strategy for today when it comes to discipline is self-motivation. Self-motivation. That's number one strategy. I'm sure you're going to, you are thinking that, oh, when coach comes here, she'll say, oh, when your child misbehave, put them in this thing corner. So that you can do all of that and not build a disciplined person. And that's the same thing that happened to us. Discipline is me sitting down here for the past 5 years and counting every 2 p.m. on Tuesday. That's discipline. Even when there are too many excuses to give. It is self-motivation. That's the first number one strategy. You need to teach your children how to be motivated internally, not just you. I hear parents say that, oh, once I'm there, my children will not misbehave. Well done, oh. Once you're there. How about when you're not there? How about if you die? I always say this in the academy. I say this in the academy a lot. What if you die? All these, you want to beat the child to shape up. You want to correct the child every minute. How about when you are not there? What happens to the child? And that's why we have raised people who are so dependent. A dependent generation. Instead of a generation that can stand on their own. No. That is us. We're very dependent. Our generation was raised to be dependent. We're not internally motivated. Most of us are not. We're externally motivated. It is going to. Most of us are Christians and do what is right because we think that God is going to punish us and we go to hell. That's why you're a Christian. It's funny when I hear some of those things. You don't even understand the place of relationship and doing what it is that is correct. No, it's just, if I don't do it, I'm going to go to hell. You are motivated by something that's not, you're not motivated. You don't understand why you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or whatever. You still do not understand why. You were told that if you don't, there is one Heavenly Father who is wicked in the throne that is going to flog you. Our Christianity is faulty because our parenting is faulty. Our Christianity is faulty because our parenting is faulty. Do you know that the way we view God is the way our fathers dealt with us? I was sharing this, with a man of God recently over the weekend. So we see God like one wicked man with a rod who will just, kill you. So we are afraid. We are not creating relationship. That is the same way we were raised. We were raised for being afraid. We're raised with fear of punishment, not motivation of why we need to do the things that we need to do. So self-motivation is the driving force behind discipline. Self-motivation. And if we're going to get our Christianity right, I'm a Christian, I'm speaking for Christians, then we need to deal with how we were raised. How we're raised is very faulty. Many of us will not step into the four walls of a church if there was no repercussion. Yeah, I'm sure you heard that right. I'm going to stop here. So self-motivation is actually a key aspect. So in my book, I wrote about self-motivation extensively, and I'm just going to just pick a few of the things. You need to, first of all, one of the most powerful clarification to self-motivation is to clarify your why. If you are teaching a child about discipline and the child do not understand the why, you have raised somebody who will just be motivated by your fears. The first question that you want to teach, or the first thing you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And then you begin to ask the child and teach the child the why behind whatever it is. Like in the academy, I usually tell the parents in the inner circle that he who knows why is better and greater than he who knows how. One of the biggest misgiving that our upbringing gave us is that it taught us the how and never the why. How you should not go out in the night and not come back in. How you should not. So everything was motivated by the fears that we had. None was motivated by why it should be done. So the moment you understand the why, you teach your children the why in whatever discipline system you are creating, it changes the tides. It means that you don't need to be there. I heard my son talking to a family friend. We're trying to say, oh, you can go online and play now. It doesn't really matter. Everything, nobody will know. And our son said, no, the problem is not my parents. The problem is that I might stumble on something that isn't what I should watch. And the problem is that when I get hooked, I'm going to need a lot of help. The guy understands why. I am not holding one cane and I want to kill him because he went, to a side that he didn't have to go to. No. That's just the how. It's just the how. I'm just, trying to motivate him and say, oh, this is the how you should do this. Don't ever go there. Don't. If your parenting is full of don't. There's something wrong with that parenting. Let me say that again. If your parenting is full of don'ts, there's something wrong with that parenting. You're not parenting effectively. Ask yourself, am I always saying don't? What should the child do instead? So when your child actually understands the why of why something is there, the child is actually able to think for themselves. I was teaching the parents in the inner circle about social intelligence, creating a social intelligence. Of course, I refer to the inner circle a lot because this is just like what I'm teaching you here is just like a tiny part, a 1%, a 10%, like tithe or whatever it is that we teach in the academy. All right, except here in the academy, there are a lot of things that I say here that will look like, what she's saying, why is she talking like this, and why is it, this way. And I was sharing with them that we had taught our children safety and taught them what it is that they needed to do. And then they went somewhere. I didn't teach them that, but they were able to think it because they knew the why for that safety lesson. So if you are just jumping up and down, hey, I want to be my child. Hey, my child must know. You must know that this is how. Okay, child doesn't understand the why. The child is motivated by your fear. And that's your ego playing on you. Many times I usually say that discipline is all about control. Many times we make discipline about control. It's all about, I want to control how things are done here. That's what you're trying to do. I want to control my child's behavior. That's not discipline. Discipline is actually more about you controlling your own behavior than controlling your own child behavior. Let me say that again. Discipline is about you controlling your behavior than even controlling your own child behavior. Self-motivation. What is your child motivated with? Your fear or the whys? That's the first strategy. And in this book, I shared on how, You can encourage self-motivation in your child using what I call the 4M approach. You can't find it on Google. I was given this one to write. If you're not reading my book, no, you're not parenting well, forget it. Let me brag a bit. Don't be angry. God has called some of us to deliver some of these things. Yeah. So don't vex. All right. I shared what I call the 4M approach of encouraging self-motivation in your child. And in that 4M approach, all right, I shared what we call mastery, mindset, modeling, and motivation. If you don't have this book and you're talking about discipline, I know you're in a long thing. Trust me. There's no way you can't find what has been written, you can't find it. It's not Googleable. It's not there. So get a copy, yes. I said so. Reach out to the team and get your copy. All right. So the mindset, number one, the mindset. I said number one, the mastery. Mastery is about setting achievable goals, providing opportunities for skill development. Mastery talks about what it is that the child can have. Part of mastery is actually self-confidence. You need to build your child. While you're building the child to be confident enough in what it is that you're teaching. Do you know that your self-confidence rubs off on your child's self-confidence? Your children know when you're not confident about even your parenting journey. I don't know. I'm not sure. Your children are like, that's why they call it BBT, born before technology. You don't even know what it is. You don't know what it is that you're talking about. So your children are just looking at you. You're providing information, you're not providing wisdom. They don't need information. Information is everywhere, it's on Google. They need wisdom. Parenting today is about wisdom. Parenting today is about wisdom. And if you do not have wisdom, you're going to be unstable. The Bible says that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. Number two is mindset. You create the mindset for self motivation. There's a way to go about mindset. Part of it is positive self talk, part of it is the growth mindset. There are some things that a few days ago I was teaching the parents in the inner circle. That was yesterday about becoming a praise junkie. Some of us have become a praise junkie to our children. You are constantly, telling, oh, you are perfect. Oh, you are. We think that that's actually how to actually build self-esteem. So you have read somewhere they told you affirm your children, affirm your children, affirm your children, affirm them. Tell them they are good. Tell them they are the best. Every minute you are on the place where you are telling your child, oh, no, your child, you are the best. Everything about you. Your child will turn out to become a praise junkie. I'm going to be sharing with parents in the academy about being a praise junkie. One clear sign when children consistently seek approval from decisions that they make. Of course, they have been you need to break you need to break free from the praise trap. That's what we call praise trap. And praise should not be, it should not be vague and insincere affirmations. Praise helps children understand their abilities and qualities better. Yes. But what are you praising exactly? Growth mindset says that you praise the thing that the child, oh, you're a very smart child. A lot of us say that. That's actually a fixed mindset. It tells the child that you're just fixed. It puts the child in a box. Growth mindset is that, whoa, you've put in a lot into this. And look at how it turns out. If you have done it this way, this is how it's going to come. You can see that the more you put in the work, the more you actually succeed. That's it. So growth mindset, fixed mindset. All right. You can read up the rest. I talked about modeling and then talked about motivation. And I also shared even some stories that can help you. Number two strategy is overcoming common obstacles. That's number two strategy of consequences, strategy and discipline strategy and consequences you must know. Right? Overcoming common obstacles. Now, maintaining discipline in every area of your life is challenging. So it's very common that you're going to encounter obstacles. One of the strategies that you need to build is to look at those obstacles. What are the very common obstacles that you can have when it comes to discipline? So when you don't look at the obstacles to discipline, you're going to actually be, there. And it comes from your definition of discipline. If it's a skill, what are the obstacles that is going to stop you from being able to build this skill? An obstacle can be lack of focus. That can be an obstacle. Distractions, lack of concentration. And very many of the times we find that today, a lot of children are struggling with focus. So some of the things you're dealing with, it's stemming from these obstacles that are common to discipline. That's where it's stemming from. It's not necessarily about what it is that the child has done or haven't done. So you look at a child who already has lost focus, is struggling with focus. Of course, it's going to trickle down to a whole lot of other things. So the problem is that you're majoring in minor and you're minoring in major. You're chasing the child. Oh, what do I need to do? You're chasing the child and then you are, shouting, panting, doing all of that. Meanwhile, the child is coming from another angle. Lack of focus is an obstacle. It's not going to, until you deal with it, it's not going to change. Another thing that can be an obstacle can be fear of failure. So you have a child, when it comes to obstacles of discipline, fear of failure, negative self-talk, self-doubt, fear of failure. It can erode discipline by sapping motivation. So the child has, spoken. Many of us, one of the reasons we're struggling with discipline is that we don't have that, we have that fear of failure. So we can't try. We can't try. We can't do things. We're so afraid. So one of the things our discipline did to us, what our parents did to us, was that they sold fear to us. They did not sell a skill called discipline. They did not sell a skill called discipline. So, while you're afraid, hey, I don't know what to, you can't stay on. You can't build on that skill in fear. So it's an obstacle. It's an obstacle. So stop raising children who live in fear. Because according to you, you want to prove that you are the lion parent. You want to prove that you can control everybody. Another thing that can be a problem will be lack of time management. That can be an obstacle. Most children that you punish for doing this, they don't know how to manage their time. So you get angry. You get angry. Oh, why did you do this? Why did you? If you actually understand what discipline means, you would actually not raise a child without building a child. Any child you raise without building them, is not going to actually be able to survive. So parenting is skills building, not instilling fear. So if your parenting is broad of building skills in the different areas of your life, your children will struggle with discipline. It doesn't matter how much you beat them. I hear you. A lot of people tell me, I beat my child. My child did not finish their food. I just slapped the child. What's wrong with you? You're doing it every day. The child lacks the skill. It doesn't change anything. Unfortunately, the child doesn't have the skill to be able to do that. It's an obstacle. It's an obstacle. So you need to first of all sit down and say, what are the obstacles to my discipline? All right. I'm going to stop there so that we can also move to the next one. And you can read the rest in the strategies in the book. The next one strategy is building skills. Building skills. What skills have you looked at on your journey to say, what skills do I need my child to build to actually be able to work on their discipline? Skill number one, talked about time management. Number two, emotions management. Emotions mastery. Most of us, I was teaching last Tuesday, was it last Tuesday? And I said that discipline is the most private thing ever in your parenting journey. If your discipline is not private, you're doing parenting wrong. Let me say that again. If your discipline is not private, you are doing something wrong on your parenting journey. You're parenting for your ego, not for the child. You're parenting for your ego, not for the child. It's all about you. If you need to show people that you're disciplining your child, you need to show and prove a point, there's something wrong. That's also part of what it is that was sold to us as discipline. So our parents needed to always assert themselves, prove to people that they are doing what is right. Why do you have anything to prove to anybody if you're on the right road? See, when you're on the right road, there's a confidence that you have. You don't need to prove. It's just like when you are the MD of a place or something, and somebody comes in and you're shouting everyone, the MD. You know I'm the MD. That will sound really foolish. Or you're going to Lagos, you're on a plane and going to Lagos. The plane is going to land in Lagos, and you're in the plane shouting, I'm going to Lagos. Don't you know that I'm going to Lagos? It sounds like you're mad. That's the way it sounds when you discipline in public and everybody is hailing you. Somewhere it actually sounds like somebody who is not okay. Because there's nothing you need to prove. Just like a man in the house who always goes, I am the man of this house. Any man that has to actually repeat that, there's something wrong with the manhood system that you have. We can see now. We can see your manhood. We can see your face. We can see everything. If you need to repeat to us that you're a man, there's something wrong. So if you need to be outside and prove to anybody that you're doing your parenting right, you're not doing that parenting right. Trust me when I say that. You're not doing that parenting right. Your parenting is faulty. So discipline is one of the most private matter. Yeah. Outside the child does something, you're expected to actually jump like a lunatic. The moment you jump like a lunatic, slap a child, then you are a perfect parent. Many times people come to me and say, oh, this parenting thing, we're teaching that we should just leave children when they do this. No, that's not what we're teaching. We're teaching that you learn what discipline means so that we don't end up raising people like us who think they are very disciplined and yet cannot sit down and achieve reading a 100-page book. We're not disciplined enough to start something and finish it. We're not disciplined enough to keep to time. We have even coined it and we say African time. What does that exactly mean? What does it mean exactly? We claim to be very disciplined. We are driving, our children are in the car. There's a traffic light, you beat it. And then you come out and say, I'm very disciplined. See, discipline is the structures you put. It's not just about the human beings. Meanwhile, when you travel abroad and the traffic light is there, because there is a system that holds you accountable, you don't do it. You don't do it. Why? Is it because the discipline? It's because there's a system. So let's stop normalizing nonsense and be telling ourselves, oh no, this, we even say things like, oh, children that are raised abroad, why people don't know how to raise children. I don't know who taught all of these things. I don't know. I do not know who taught us these things. I don't know. Whether it's the movie we're watching that tells us that we are better parents, we are perfect. The typical African parent tells you, oh, I'm a very perfect parent. And define that perfect parent for us as a typical African parent. You say, because I react aggressively, because I can because my children cannot do nonsense near me. That your no nonsense is actually is a negative, it's not a positive. Is a responsibility, it's not a responsibility. That you cannot manage the emotions that you have. If you're not building the skill to manage your emotions and even manage the emotions of your children, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. I was reading something, recently, and I was trying to share it. What I wrote recently. If a child can do advanced maths, speak three languages, or receive top grades, but can't manage their emotions, practice conflict resolution, or handle stress, none of that other stuff will really matter. I was in a session yesterday with a parent and we were talking about this. And she said, Coach, my child is one of the best performing child. I had another session this morning on this. He said, but this my child cannot manage their emotions. It's a problem. I'm worried. Anything you don't deal with now, you are going to deal with later. Either way, you pay the price. You pay the price. You pay the price. So can we stop saying all this? Oh, no, the African parents didn't know how to parent children. When children do something, you can't do any nonsense. All the no nonsense and all the where are we? Where are we? Where are we? That's not true. If you have traveled around the world, you will know that African is not that is not true. See, ineffective parenting is ineffective parenting anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter whether you're African, you're American, it doesn't matter where you're from. I know that people from Zambia, other countries, Trinidad and Tobago watching me, even if you're white and you do not put in the principles that are required, you will fail at parenting. Parenting does not know white or black. I've seen failed parents abroad. I've seen failed black parents. I've seen failed parents everywhere. The problem is that you go there, you're actually mixing up with people who have had failed parenting strategies, and then you make a blanket, generalized statement. A blanket generalized statement. Africans, it's just aggression that we practice. We can't continue, practicing this. Yes, intentional parenting is a universal currency. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter where you're from. So when we share, a lot of people come and say, this Oyibo type of, what does Oyibo type of parenting mean exactly? They do us. Who did this to us? This Oyibo type of parenting. What does that even mean? We're saying become responsible to your emotions. Even the good books that you read, the Bible you read, talks about controlling your emotions. He said, he who can control himself is better and greater than he who can carry a gate. And then you still end up and say, all these things is not the white man's this thing. And newsflash, I shared in my book, Discipline, the discipline that works. Hitting a child is not African. Since I shared it here, it's not African, and I did extensive research. You can go and do an extensive research on it. It's not. Africans didn't used to hit children. It's borrowed culture. Since you want to actually, talk about culture, culturally, we're not aggressive with children until colonization happened. Are we going to sit down and continue to talk about colonization for how long? For how many years? We became aggressive by the things that were done to us. Yes, we understand this. Can we start rewiring ourselves? Can we start redoing these things and begin to learn how to become more emotionally sensitive? How to become more emotionally, responsible. Can we begin to do that? So I was sitting down and saying how, all these things are. So I'm sure for people who listen to me and say all these things are, parenting of the Oyibo people. What does that mean? Does it mean that somebody even said, it's not black children, no. There's a way you need to deal with black children. If you don't beat a black child, the black child will not listen. It broke my heart. Is that how small we think of the black African child? You see how small we think of it? The African child was not created to be treated like a cow. Stop it. Stop it. They're not cows. Stop telling me that, if you don't beat an Oyo child, the child will behave okay. It is the African children are very stubborn. I've heard all those nonsense, and it pisses me off. Please, let's stop it. Please. continue this way. No, we can't. Let's get hold of our emotions. If there's something wrong in your parenting, seek help today. Seek help. These are strongholds, serious strongholds. And that's what we are as a nation. That's what we are as a continent. As a continent. We're sitting down and we're talking down on this generation, even the generations come out. Then we want to, how do you want to progress? From where? We have already relegated them. And then you beat them until the gray matter shuts down. How do they want to become? How do they want to become? How do they want to create? How do they want to create? They can't create because you're shutting down the ability to be creative. Today I was teaching a mentee of mine, and I said to her that she said, "Oh, what we need to do is to educate parents." I said, "No." I said, "This is what we were taught. Awareness. Oh, just create awareness." And then I said, what you need to do is to create solutions. You're a solution provider. These are the things that you're not told because you were born African. You were not told that you're a solution provider. Else, when you go to school, be educated. Education doesn't actually give you access to all of these things. What gives you access is providing solutions. But some of us have just, rested down. Once you're educated, we are very aware, very educated. We know everything, but then what? No solutions created. So we're educated, but we're not creative. We're not creative. We even brag and say, "Oh no, when the African people go abroad, we come first on the top." And then what? Raising slaves. Our team in the academy is raising kings. Those who sit on the table with kings and those who actually make kings. There is a system to be able to sit on the table with the kings. It's not in the four walls of a school. No, it's not. We're just aware. We know all the problems. We know what it is. But we can't create. We cannot create solutions to it. Why? Simply, our parenting is faulty. There's no other word to explain it. We're not raised to create. No, we're not. We're raised to go to school, come first, and then we'll go abroad, we'll do masters, come first in the class. We're always stopping the class. And then when we finish stopping the class, getting educated. A typical African person has 1 million certificates. No solutions to real problems because we were not taught. We have been shut down not to be able to create. And it's intentional. You can't just see it. And yet you're still raising your children the way you're raising your children. You're raising your children. You're telling me, the template your parents did worked because you have gone to school and made the two one working in one job and all of that. And that makes it okay. And then we finish going to all of these schools, and then there's no solution provided for all of the problems that we have. All of the problems that we have. Our parents didn't need to read any books. So how have the results come up? Our parents didn't need to read any books. How has the result come up? Where are we? What is the result of all of those things? We're not creating solutions. Let's stop shutting our children down in the name of, "Oh no, that's how we were raised. I turned out okay." No, you're not okay. Somebody told me, all the goats they called us, all the things you are teaching, all the goats they called us, did we remain goats? Are you sure that you didn't remain a goat? Are you sure? When we justify some things, let's think about it first. Are you really sure that we all didn't end up becoming cows and goats? Look around you. What does it tell you? What does it tell you? What does it tell you? So let's go back to this conversation. All these are educated. We're all educated. Africans are there. We are the most educated. And then what has that done for us? Education is not the real, it's creativity. And until we actually come to the point of creativeness and leaving this education matter, all right, then we're not going to actually move forward. We're not going to move forward. We're going to continue to raise slaves. There is a system to sit on the table with kings. There is a system for it. There's a system for it. There's a system for it. We find ourselves, and then, we say, I know, it works in a good, very good place. And then the end, there's a, there's a system to create. We need to actually get it right. So, building, skills building, skills building. What are the skills that you're building? Work on your emotions. When you say attend a class and work on your emotions, it's for your own good, for the good of your generation and your generations to come. Your child can top the class, be the first in class, have all A's. We brag with all those things. Made all A's and all of that. And at the end of the day, no solution created. I was teaching the parents in the inner circle, and I was telling them about what actually all these, what will you be in the future? What does that exactly mean? What is what will you be in the future? The future that is right here. And we're asking a child, what will you be in the future? We can't even see problems. Who will solve them? We just want them to go to school, come back, and all of that. Work on your emotions. Work on your emotions. Your emotions is the most paramount part of your parenting journey. Get into the becoming an emotionally intelligent parent course. That will change the tides for you. We're starting on, what date is it? On the 12th, on Monday. Whatever. Oh, okay. Connecting back. Oh, sorry about that. My network is this network doesn't want me to say what I'm about to say. No, I will say it though. Yes, work on your emotions. It is for your own good. Stop telling me, oh, what did our parents learn? How did they learn? How did that turn out? When we all look around us. The details is on my screen. Whatever it is that you need to do, do it. Start working on you. Give your children a gift of being able to put their emotions in check. That's the first place of being able to be creative. You can't be creative when you don't understand the skills of calm. There are skills of calm. You need to get to a point where you're to actually be able to create. That's why all that noise. When I started in the beginning, I said if your discipline is noise, is destructive. It's not the discipline that works. A child is about to go to school. In the morning, you are yelling everywhere. You are shouting. You are screaming. You are just everywhere. Your house is. You say, no, there is no African parent that can wake up in the morning and not yell in the morning. Who is teaching us this nonsense? Who? We justify these things on social media. And then we come and if I say some tags, oh, is there anybody who can raise a child without yelling? No, they said never. It is never possible. Children, you must yell in the morning. Why do you think you need to yell at a child in the morning when they are going to school? Such wickedness. How is a child going to actually be able to think? So of course the child goes to school. When you finish all that yelling, out of fear, they cram everything that they want to do, and then they vomit it in school, and then they make A1, and you say, yes, after all, if I even yelled at my children, nothing, they still came out, they were still okay. Told you they are okay. Told you they are okay. And they can't create nothing, nada, and you say they are okay. There's something wrong with the system of parenting that we are running. And we need to actually reassess what we're doing and stop this argument. All this argument of I don't need to do anything, I don't need to pay for any class. Oh, I'm okay. Oh, we tell you how to yell. Oh, then you are yelling and you are actually looking at your children. Your children are confused every morning. Gray matter dying every day. And you are supporting such evil with analysis of you have our parents did it to us and we are okay. How okay can we be? How okay are we? How can we? Let's move. Number four is creating shadows. If you have not registered for the emotional intelligence class, now you now yourself you do. It's either you pay today or you pay tomorrow. Either way, you gotta pay. That's one thing that I know. At some point, the payment will happen. At some point, it will happen. It's not a this. You either do the time, just like what I tell parents when they're like, I don't have time. I don't. If you either do the time today of raising your child, or you do the time tomorrow. Either way, you will pay the price. The time will happen. The time will come. Is it that you do it in grace or you do it in regrets? Is it that you do it in grace or you do it in regrets? You choose. The choice is yours. Because human being parenting is give and take, garbage in, garbage out. That's what it is. Creating shadows. If there are no shadows, there are no discipline strategies. What should be done when? In this book, I wrote about the 5 pillars of discipline, and that's one of the things that you need to actually, take on when you're creating a discipline, parenting. And we're talking about the 5 pillars of discipline: skills, strategies, schedules. These are the 5 pillars of discipline: structures, systems. And that's why James Clear said we don't fall to the level of our goals. We actually rise to the level of the systems that we create. The problem is the systems. The problem is the system. You need to create shadows. What should be done when? Any parent, any parenting that takes you to the place of unpredictability is wrong parenting. Any parenting that takes you to the place of unpredictability is wrong parenting. Your parenting must be predictable. Unpredictability is the enemy of parenting. Your parenting must be predictable, predictable to the teeth. Predictable to the teeth. There's nothing like, oh, my children don't even know how I'm going to react. We say those things. I'm very unpredictable. We even brag with it. Ah, lack of knowledge is punishment from the devil. And you know the problem? The devil uses the gap in knowledge to actually attack you. That's what the devil does. Just the gap in knowledge and in time to attack you because you do not understand. You don't understand. So you must be very predictable. Your system must be very predictable. And then the last one, all right, is talking about accountability, creating systems. That's what accountability is. Creating systems. Creating systems. What systems do you have in place? What it is that is going to help your children actually stay disciplined? Create children who really understand being a disciplined parent. How are you building yourself? When parents get into the inner circle, the very first thing that I say to them is that parenting is about you. And then anytime I say that, there's this, there's this thing that just happens. Parenting is about you. But it's about you. What systems do you have? I hear you. I hear parents say to me all these things. Oh, I'm joining the parenting class and all of that. I say it always today in the generation where we are. A parenting class is no longer an option, it's compulsory. It's no longer an option, it's compulsory. We're raising children in a world we know nothing about. And you say you don't want to learn. It is a world we are not aware of. The downside is that it's an era of knowledge. Our grandparents were raised in the agrarian era. Our parents were raised in the industrialized era. We are in the era of knowledge. We are raising children in the era of knowledge. We were raised in the industrialized era. We're raising children. That's why we don't understand that the world of works has changed. The way work is going to go. All these are my child. You must study medicine. When you come out, so that I will answer my doctor, mother of doctor. If you are still there, you are in the archaic ancient place. The archaic ancient place. Creating systems, accountability systems. Systems that help you learn, that hold you accountable. You can't parent, this. Oh, I just want to. Oh, that after all, some people even tell me after all this information they're on social media. And go ahead, go and find them. But children are not looking for information; they are looking for wisdom. You don't find wisdom there. Go and find them. They're looking for wisdom. Information is freely available to everybody. Wisdom is not. Wisdom is priceless. You pay for it. You pay for it. That is this class. Can the class be free? What I have shared with you cannot solve your problem. It's awareness, education. That's what I'm creating. That's what I'm creating for you. Education, awareness. Knowledge is paid for. It's not free. So it's not I'm ignorant. It's not bliss anymore. The Bible says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. And the scripture that I love a lot, and I quote it a lot in the inner circle, is that the journey of of a foolish man wearieth every single one of them because they do not know how to go to the city. There is a how to go to the city. If you don't know how to get to the city, you will not get to the city. It doesn't matter. And if your parenting is wearying you, you don't know how to go to the city. You don't know. No, parenting is hard. Hey, if your parenting is wearying you, you don't know the way to the city. You don't know what to say. So wisdom, the Bible says wisdom who can buy is far above rubies. You pay for it. People came all the way, all over, all the world to come and pay for the wisdom that Solomon had. Queen of Sheba, when you read the things that she brought all sorts because she understood that wisdom is paid for. It's paid for. It's not information on the streets. Everybody just have it. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, what systems am I creating? What accountability systems am I creating? Because we are recovering discipline, bad discipline people. And if you're going to do anything better, you need to actually put yourself in a system and learn. If you want your life to be colored, you need to pass through a curriculum. You need to pass through a curriculum. If you want a change in the life of your child, you need to pass your child through a curriculum. Curriculum colors your life. It changes your life. Curriculums colors your life. It changes your life. If you're not passing your life through a curriculum, you will remain the same person for life. And your children are going to take off because, unfortunately, because parenting, we're in the era of knowledge. Do you know that the most tragic thing I have seen is parents raising children who are more knowledgeable than they are? We're not even trying. You bring out a phone. Last week I was talking about parenting in social media area. Social media is not the problem. It's you that is a problem. It's a tool. It's a tool. You bring out, you say, I don't even know what is it that they do there. And you don't want to know. Your children have left you. You're no longer parenting them. Because parenting requires wisdom. You are not bringing it. You don't have a curriculum to pass them through. There is no color. It can't change them. There's nothing that you have built around your system. That's a system. Curriculum is a system. What we share in the academy is curriculum. We pass you through a curriculum and it changes you. Anytime I share, before we onboarded people for the inner circle, every time I said that, the inner circle, changes you and it changes you. In 30 days, you don't recognize yourself. That's what a curriculum, a well-taught through curriculum does for you. It colors your life. It changes your life. It changes your life. And if you're still in the place of, I just want to be in the Tuesday, like I'm really learning a lot. Yeah, you will learn a lot, but of course, it's not going to provide this awareness. You're here for awareness. That's what we're doing here. There's no curriculum that helps you, that passes you through the system. Pay for knowledge. It changes your life. It's funny when we actually say all these things and we say, oh no, this class is actually very, expensive. Why would they charge me that amount? Because I want to come and learn this. But you're going to buy pizza. But when the chips are down, in one day, you spend this times 200. I've seen it happen over and over. Yesterday, somebody paid this times 200 for just a few sessions. For just a few sessions. Because, of course, at that time, you start running kitty. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. If you don't have knowledge and wisdom, you will be unstable in this time. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to encourage everybody listening to me. Get into this class on Monday. It's a well thought through curriculum that have been created to change your life when it comes to emotions mastery. We're doing emotional intelligence class, and trust me, it is nothing like it's been done. We're going to start by unraveling the childhood trauma and its impact on emotional regulation. Most of us have been trying to regulate our emotions. It's not regulating. The problem is not whether you are doing. The problem is that there is something underlying. There is a why. Until you deal with the why, you can't get there. We're going to be exploring our upbringing, all right, and understanding the roots of our behavior. What has happened to us? Why are we there? And then we will now recognize what we call the self-distorted self-perception. How did our upbringing distort our perception about life? How do we now begin to overcome this limiting belief? How do we now begin to now work on this whole system? How do we understand introversion? What is introversion exactly? What does that even mean? I'm an introvert. I don't know how to talk. we're going to be dissecting that statement for you at the Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Parent course. And then we're going to now be going on the journey of self-understanding through the 5 cores of EI, where we're going to introducing you, practical exercise on how you can develop emotional intelligence, what we can do, and then we'll be creating a nurturing environment, building listening systems and emotional connections. How we're going to actually put up the systems to help you to start your journey is a curriculum. Is a curriculum. And then we will also talk about decoding the teenager brain, right? When we're creating that listening environment, we're talking about nurturing emotions in toddlers, in teens. Pharmacist Isaac Onoja is going to be talking about, he's a brain specialist and a mind and emotion specialist. He's going to be talking about how the teenage brain and all of the emotions and everything that happens in the teenage brain. And Tayo Yachting, psychologist, will also be digging down into what happened to us and how we're going to begin to redo our systems. If you attend that class, you will know whether I need healing. Most of us need healing from where we are coming from. We don't even know. We're coming from a lot. Our alotness is a lot. Instead of us sitting down and claiming that there's nothing wrong with us, we're okay. Go and check it. There's a lot. Your a lot is a lot. A lot is a lot. And truly, you can really not experience a wholesome system curriculum just by attending few Tuesday classes here. Today you come in, today you don't come in. Come and get yourself into a curriculum. The classes will hold at a particular time, but there's replay. That's the beautiful thing about our courses. All our courses have replays. You can have access to replay the rest 365 days. Any day you wake up, you start your replay. You can access it, and you can also ask your questions even within that space of time. That's the beauty. You have no excuse. We have no excuse. I don't have time. I'm busy. I have exam in 2 months. Buy the course. Get in. Go and sit down with it whenever it is that you have the time. Because it's only once that this course is. And after the course goes live on Monday, it becomes 30,500 naira. That's what it's going to sell for. And even at that, it is mega cheap. You don't want to know what it takes us to bring 2 experts to come and teach in the class. It is extremely still cheap. So yes, I said so. Very affordable. So is it that you're paying 20,500 now, or you're paying 30,500 at the end of, at the beginning of Monday? All right. So this offer ends by this weekend. Now, boom, we're there on Monday. We're almost 2,000 parents already registered in participants. Parents, non-parents. I saw yesterday a girl in the inner circle who is young was talking about, she was grateful she was in the inner circle. Grateful that she was in the inner circle. Sometimes I think that some of the things I should have learned, I wish I even learned themselves, even as a single person. So whether you're single, you're married, you're about to get married, you don't have a child, no, emotional intelligence, it cuts across. It changes your life on every aspect. The beautiful thing is that you're going to get a worksheet that walks you through. When we build curriculums in the academy, we build it to the later. We don't leave anything undone. That's how we work. I love what I do. And of course, if you have worked with me, you know that I love what I do. I love it not for the money. I love it for everything that it does. The transformation it brings is it for me. I can wake up in the middle of the night teaching parenting. I can talk for 4 hours talking about parenting. I am called to deliver this to a nation, to a time like this. Trust me when I say so. It's not, if it's by me, I won't be here. Just like many of you, I have like three master's degree in different affairs of life and all of the things that I do. All right. But this is more than just doing a work. All right. For me. So you can also get copies of all my books, right? You can see them here. Part of the books that I read through today was The Discipline That Works, and then Connect to Correct. We finished reading Connect to Correct. It changed the life for many. All right. We have Discipline is Not an Emergency. That's one of my best books. I don't even know which one I would call the best. Sometimes I say this one is my best, and I change again. I say no, it's not this that is my best. All right. This we have Raising the Independent Thinking Child, amazing, amazing blockbuster. We have Solving Family Problem. In fact, I heard the parents in level 2 review this book, and I was like, wow, is it this book? All right. We have Walking Your Child Through Puberty. We have Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. We have From Yelling to Calm. We have Parenting Launch Plan. We have How to Love Your Child More. We have Resolving Sibling Rivalry. We have From Yelling to Calm. We have Raising Emotionally Skilled Child. If you are a parent and you're not thinking emotions, you know that in this raising a child in the 21st century, emotional intelligence, emotions, mental health is a key factor. Is a key factor. Trust me when I say so. All right. I told the parents in the inner circle, I said, I know with exactitude where I'm leading you to. I know exactly what it is that you're going to learn. You don't hear me say, I think. I don't think I know. Don't get angry because I know. Some of us actually know what we are here for on earth. All right. We're not guessing. We're not on a guesswork round. Thank you so much for joining me 6 minutes after my time. And I'm gonna leave leave here. I hope to see you at the Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Parent course on Monday. If you miss out to join in on Monday, you pay 30,000 naira 500. Beautiful. We have staff. We need money. Please give us. We don't mind. All right. So you can take, this discount now and move with it. If you want to get any of our books, there's a number right on my screen, that WhatsApp number. Send them a chat. Or if you're outside of Nigeria, go on Amazon, put Wendy Ologe and you'll find all of my books. I am the only Wendy Ologe in the world. If you find any other one, it is counterfeit. Thank you so much. My name is Wendy Ologe and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Boom! It is Tuesday Live and we are done here. See you yarders in the yard and see you on Thursday. I can't wait for that class on Thursday. See you guys and have an amazing day.